Hello folks, a very happy new year to everyone. So it's time to speak about the monthly forecast. As usual, if you would prefer to read about it, I have posted on my website, so you can have a look there. Yeah. So let's get into this. So, what's happening in January? In January we have a Venus-Saturn conjunction. We have a Mercury retrograde cycle in Sagittarius. Then we have Mars and Mercury going direct. And of course we have the big movement of Saturn returning to Aquarius. From January 12th till January 18th, all of these planetary shifts take place, and then things will start to flow a little bit more smoothly. Yeah. The month starts with a full moon in Gemini in the nakshatra of Punarvasu, approximately 22 degrees of Gemini, late in the day on January the 6th. So, this could be a restart of all sorts, because we're talking about Punarvasu. So there's a theme of returning to something. It could be an old way of doing things. It could also be a restart after something hasn't worked out, right? It could certainly be a time of renewal, and it's quite appropriate because it is the beginning of the year. So it's an excellent new moon to start the year with. The ruler Mercury is in retrograde, aspecting Gemini at this time from Sagittarius. And Jupiter, which is the controlling planet of Punarvasu, is 10th from the moon in Pisces. So you could be thinking about a renewal in career matters, in what you want to do, what the big picture is in your life, what you want to do in years to come, not just this year. So there could be a reboot with work situations and restart with that. See also where Pisces falls to get a hint of where that restart could occur. The moon gets no malefic aspects, so your thinking can be quite clear at this time. And if it's not, write everything down, because we're talking about a Mercury retrograde aspecting this new moon, this full moon rather. Yeah. So now the next big event of the month is on January the 12th, when Mars goes direct in Taurus, finally, in the nakshatra of Rohini, where it's been for a while actually. Now at this time Mars is in trine with Venus, the ruler of Taurus, and it's also in trine with the moon, which is the controlling planet of Rohini. So whatever matters that were stuck will start to flow more smoothly now. Now on December 8th, we had an important full moon in Taurus, in Rohini. And there was at that time a close conjunction of Mars with the moon, which is also known as a lunar occultation. Right? Occultation meaning at that time the hiding or eclipsing of Mars was taking place by the moon. So this could have meant areas that are ruled by Mars in your chart went through some changes. And whatever matters had been hidden or transformed due to the moon's occultation can come to the surface now when Mars goes direct. Yeah, because it's going direct at that same place. So some hidden truths could be revealed pertaining to that. Again, pertaining to see what Mars represents for you, what lordship it rules in your chart. It could also mean a jolt or a reset of all the Mars significations in your chart. And areas that Mars represents in your chart will now open up with new opportunities. Now, what are the general significations? The Karaka. of Mars for everyone. Real estate, land, property, brothers. So these significations will be impacted. Aries and Scorpio will definitely feel some relief now that Mars has gone direct. Mars, of course, has been aspecting its own sign of Scorpio, but also Leo and Sagittarius. So these signs will also get a boost now. So see what matters they represent. And you could also move ahead with confidence in these areas of life. If you're going through a moon dasha though, then this Mars transit through Rohini can test your nerves at times. So see what dasha you're in, what antardasha you're in, right? And Mars will continue to move through Rohini till February. Yeah. Now, shortly after that, on January the 14th, till February the 13th, the Sun makes its annual move into Capricorn. This occasion of the Sun's movement is celebrated every year as Lohri. It's called Lohri in North India, marking the end of winter, and it's usually celebrated with a bonfire accompanied with dancing and singing and so on. So it's a celebration. In South India, it's known as Pongal. So this happens every year on Makar Sankranti, right? But that's the important thing, because every month when the Sun transitions into a new sign is called Sankranti. But this is a special occasion when it goes into Capricorn, also called Makar, right? In Vedic astrology. We're talking about Vedic astrology here. So now why is it that even though we have Sankranti every month with the Sun's movement into another zodiac sign, why is it the Makar Sankranti is celebrated especially? Well, one is because it marks the end of winter. And the other is it's the beginning of the Sun's movement upward, turning north. And this is considered to be the time of light, also known as Uttarayan. Uttarayan means the time of gods, when the power of the deities or the power of the good increases considerably. Why? Because the light increases considerably. It's as simple as that, right? It's also the movement of the Sun toward its exaltation point. Now, scientifically, this is now, in the era that we live in, considered to be after the winter solstice in December. But we still mark this Sankranti as significant. Yeah, so practically we can say that Uttarayan is synonymous with the winter solstice, but movement into Makar Rashi is significant and celebrated and marked as a special occasion. So if you wanted to strengthen the Sun in your chart, maybe it's with the nodes, maybe it's weak in some way, this is the time to do it by offering a donation, especially during this 24-hour period when the Sun moves into Capricorn. 12 hours before and 12 hours after is considered to be auspicious. For the first 3 days, when the Sun moves into Capricorn, it will make a conjunction with Saturn and Venus. Then, of course, Saturn shifts into Aquarius 3 days later on January the 17th and stays there until March the 29th, 2025. I've, of course, made a separate video on this, and I'm going to link it below as well as at the end of this forecast. This is, of course, a very important transit for Saturn, right? Saturn is moving back into its Multrikon sign, where it feels very comfortable. It feels comfortable in any Aries sign, but especially Aquarius. So have a look at what Saturn rules for you. These matters will see some positive shifts now, at least some movement. Okay. If you felt stuck regarding these matters, you could see a breakthrough now as well. The other positive thing about this shift is that Saturn stops aspecting Jupiter in Pisces, giving Jupiter the ability to expand without any restrictions. Now Saturn will start to aspect Rahu in Aries. So that could slow down some progress to see what Aries represents and where it falls in your chart. Then following day, on January the 18th, we see Mercury going direct, which is of course great for all Mercury matters moving ahead in full speed. Travel can be beneficial now with Mercury in Sagittarius and its ruler, Jupiter in Pisces. Education endeavors will get a good boost now. And you can put your plans into action for new starts. Yeah, doors can open up, opportunities can open up with just a little bit of effort when Mercury goes direct. Then, finally, we have a new moon late in the evening on January the 21st in Capricorn, in the nakshatra Uttarashad, at approximately 7 degrees. So money matters can be prominent now, and you could be worrying about some financial matters at this time. There can be some distance in relationships also. We have Pluto very close to this new moon cycle. This can trigger past memories. It can trigger some deeply buried emotions. It could be because of an event that took place or some circumstance that you're currently in. So your mood can experience some ups and downs at this time during the new moon cycle. Yeah. Anyway, it's a dark moon. So these ups and downs, I think, will probably be related to close relationships. Your intuition, however, could be very good, could be very sharp at this time. So see where Capricorn falls in your chart to see how you will be impacted. And don't be surprised if you experience some kind of power struggle in your close relationships. There could be heightened intensity as well. So whatever comes up at this time, give or take 1 or 2 days, it can have you feeling a little bit distant with others. Yeah, and this is confirmed by the fact that the next day Venus moves into Aquarius and joins Saturn in a close conjunction. So this Venus-Saturn pairing has been lingering since the beginning of the month, and now it becomes exact around the new moon cycle. Right? So problems and distance in relationships have been brewing. But by January 25th, when the moon reaches Pisces, whatever it was should subside by then. Yeah. And this month will end with a Moon-Mars conjunction in Rohini. So again, it's a pattern that repeats from December. So finally, those issues that started in the beginning of December could come to a rest by the end of this month, right? So if you have something in Taurus, you'll be impacted, especially if it's Rohini. So have a look at that. And that's all. That's all for now, folks. All the best. So wishing you all a very prosperous, healthy, and happy 2023. Yeah. Take care. Cheers.